It's time for another segment of Mr. and Mrs. Medicare, saving seniors from a high cost of healthcare, debunking Medicare, making Medicare easy to understand for all seniors. All guests of any of the Medicare segments receive the free ebook written by your MedicareLady.com. Here are your hosts, Paul and Sarah Finkelstein.
Hi there, I'm Paul Finkelstein, Everything Medicare. This is your free morsel, your free daily lesson about Medicare and more. You'll be getting a free copy of a book that's on Amazon. You can see it down below at easybutton4medicare.com. You can download the PDF. If you've been procrastinating at two things, we're going to cover those two things in this Medicare lesson today. The first thing is about, hey, how about those Medicare premiums and what are they all about? And the second thing that this round to it is going to help you with is if you haven't voted yet, this is the last day to vote. Your Medicare card comes in a red, white, and blue color. So does you. You're a package for America, for our great country. Exercise the right for the red, white, and blue. That's all I'm going to say about that. Now, today, we're going to talk about those premiums. What could we talk about those Medicare premiums? Well, in Chapter 10, it has all the details that you need to know. As a matter of fact, this book was written maybe a couple years, so the numbers might be a little bit higher, perhaps maybe lower, but most likely higher. Why? Do prices ever go down? So in Chapter 10 of this great book, straight to the point, finally an easy Medicare education for boomers and seniors, the conclusive, clear, and complete guide. Make no mistake about it. The roadmap to Medicare is now here, brought to you by yourmedicarelady.com and realmedicareman.com. You could also find yourmedicarelady.com at realmedicarelady.com. I'm Paul Finkelstein. Sarah Finkelstein is yourmedicarelady.com. And we are based in Delray Beach, but we have multiple clients throughout the nation. So let's dive into a little bit of some details, or deets, short for details, because it's too long a word. We need to just abbreviate details. How many people here actually have to abbreviate the word exercise? My wife does. Sometimes she does XRCS. But anyway, you abbreviate lots of things that maybe the easy way is really the original way to do it. And well, what's easier maybe perhaps is the original Medicare way in a supplement plan and a drug plan, but everybody's different. So that's why we believe in education about Medicare. So Chapter 10, what about those premiums? Well, what are the premiums for original Medicare Part A? Well, as long as you worked and paid into the system for at least 10 years, you qualify for Medicare and get premium-free Part A. If you haven't worked for at least 10 years, you qualify through your spouse, if you have a spouse. As long as she or he has worked and paid into the system for at least 10 years or 40 quarters. If neither of you have worked for a minimum of 10 years, you can purchase Part A. And here's what you could expect to pay. If you paid Medicare taxes for at least 30 quarters or 7.5 years, your monthly premium will be $499. If you paid Medicare taxes 30 to 39 quarters, your monthly premium will be $274. You can pay and buy Medicare Part B without purchasing Part A if you choose. But remember that Part A provides hospitalization, hospice care, skilled nursing facilities, blood, and some home health services. If you don't qualify for premium-free Part A, and if you're delaying signing up when you are eligible, you'll be subject to a late enrollment penalty. Did I just say penalty? The penalty is 10% for every 12-month period that you are eligible. But the late enrollment, you'll have to pay this penalty for 2 times the number of years that you went without the coverage. For example, if you delayed enrollment for 3 years, you would have to pay the penalty for 6 years. So Part A cost, for example, if you're admitted into the hospital, Part A, there is a deductible. Days 1 through 60, the deductible is $1,556. The benefit period is 60 days. Days 61 and 90, daily copay is $389 per day for a daily total of $11,670. If you still need to be in the hospital beyond that, your copay is, drum roll please. I'm just turning the page in this amazing Medicare book. Days 91 to 150, daily copay is $778 per day. Or at least the previous page, that total was $46,680. There's a lifetime reserve days that may never be used. But note, the above costs do not apply when you are a member of a Medicare Advantage plan, Part A and Part C. Remember that Part C replaces original Medicare. It is an alternative to original Medicare. This is a 5 or 10-minute nugget. If you want more information, have no fear. Just download the book you see down below in the scrolling easy button for Medicare.com. Download the PDF or get it on Amazon, a hard copy. You can get absolutely for free. Just search at Sarah Finkelstein on Amazon instead of purchasing your favorite product. Part B premiums. A lot of people have a problem with Part B premiums because they're subject to IRMA. You know what Aunt IRMA is? Income-related adjusted amount. Everyone has to pay premium for Medicare Part B, which is currently $170.10 per month. When this book was written, it is a little bit higher. Part D plans run $10 a month up, depending on your zip code, and some people pay more than that for the Part B premiums based on their income level. Part B premiums is always based on your income 2 years prior. That's a popular question, by the way. Most commonly answered questions about Medicare. What will you pay in 2022 for your Part B premium based on your 2020 income? It's a little bit higher, I believe. So let's see. If you have a joint tax return, there's about 4 columns here, but I'll just give a little snippet. A joint tax return with modified adjusted gross income, $182,000 or less. Your total monthly premium in 2022 would be $170.10. If your monthly adjusted gross income is $182,000 to $228,000 between your husband and a wife, your monthly premium in 2022 would be $238 per month just for your Part B. There's more. So if your income is around $340,000 to $750,000, your monthly premium would be $544. But hey, that could be better than buying outright insurance. So if you pay more than $170 per month for your Medicare Part B, they're subject to IRMA, income-related monthly adjustment amount. If you're subject to IRMA Part B, then you also be subject to IRMA for Part D, even if you get your Part D drug plan through a Medicare Advantage plan. Part D and IRMA. IRMA is your friend? Perhaps, maybe not. So there's a lot more information there in the book. You could download those charts. They'll probably be a little bit higher. Oh, I should open up that page again because we do want to talk about our next topic, which is those most commonly asked questions about Medicare. So let's flip over to some commonly asked questions. If you've been listening to the prior episodes, you'll probably recognize some of these questions. They're the most commonly asked questions. They keep coming up over and over and over and over again. What if I'm still working beyond age 65? Do I still have to go on Medicare? So this is a way you could possibly avoid IRMA. Have a credible coverage at work. Have an amazing credible coverage at work with more than 25 employees. There's the key right there. It depends on the size of your employer. If your employer has less than 20 employees, then typically you do have to go on to Medicare. If your employer has more than 20 employees, then you probably have credible coverage. That's a term, a buzzword in the Medicare industry. And here's another most commonly asked question I asked. I haven't worked the minimum of 10 years. Can I still qualify for Medicare? You can qualify for Medicare through your spouse if your spouse worked for more than 10 years. These questions keep coming up again and again and again. Oh my God, there's another section that we have to go into. So let me go over to that section of the book. Let's just mention 2 real kindness, real testimonials about the Medicare guy or gal. You can look up yourmedicarelady.com or realmedicareman.com. I'm Paul Finkelstein, Sarah Finkelstein. We are Mr. and Mrs. Medicare. Bill Patella, what's he say? Real people and real kindness. Thank you so much, Bill. I know you'll want to know what some of these people have been saying because, hey, that's why people feel comfortable dealing with people that are online. If they haven't got a direct referral, perhaps maybe you've been listening to this daily morsel of Medicare education, a daily lesson about Medicare every single day. Bill says, I have worked with Sarah for several years, and she's been a caring friend, a valuable resource, and sometimes scary world of personal finances. Her intelligence, knowledge in the area has been great benefit. I would recommend Sarah highly and anyone who needs a trustworthy, devoted professional. That's what Bill says, not what I say. I'm just her husband, but I'm reading word for word what Bill says. Not with a teleprompter, just me and the book. Jocelyn Dillard says, I met Sarah at a women's roundtable and immediately felt the warmth and a genuine personality. She's very knowledgeable in her field and cares for each individual's financial needs. Elaine Karniski says, I wanted to thank you for helping us with our Medicare supplement when we lived in Florida. So there's a Medicare supplement, which is different than a Medicare Part C. So you'll want to educate yourself which one is better, a Part C or a Part D or a Part supplement with the original Medicare. All right, there's lots of bells and whistles about Medicare. That's the end of our show. I'm Paul Finkelstein. I'm Mr. Medicare, realmedicareman.com. Sarah is yourmedicarelady.com. I give Tony the last word. If you want the best voiceover on the planet, head on over to trcvoiceovers.com. Here's a snippet of what Tony sounds like.
It's time for another segment of Mr. and Mrs. Medicare, saving seniors from a high cost of healthcare, debunking Medicare, making Medicare easy to understand for all seniors. All guests of any of the Medicare segments receive the free ebook written by yourmedicarelady.com. Here are your hosts, Paul and Sarah Finkelstein.
That's about all it wraps up for today. So you now have a round to it. You could do two things, and these two things are so important. If you're close to 65 years old, because Medicare started in 1965, it helps 65-year-olds with Medicare, their health insurance, but it also helps people that are disabled. Of course, before 65, and 3 U.S. presidents did help in the Medicare process. It was Lyndon Johnson. There was Harry Truman. He got the first Medicare card in 1965. And then there was Nixon. He helped get Medicare for under 65 and the disabled as well. And the other thing that this round two will help you do, if you haven't voted, this is the last chance you can vote. So today is election day. Please don't forget to vote. And that's the last word. Have a fantastic day. See you tomorrow.